to the Ramon Foster Show, starring that guy, Ramon Foster. And it's brought to you by the Get-Go Cafe and Market, where they're open for business 24/7, serving hot, fresh food. Happy Thursday, Moan.
Hey, happy Thursday, my friend. How are you?
I have no complaints. You see the sun blasting in here?
Yeah.
It's funny. It's not even direct sunlight. There's a skyscraper across from us here downtown, and the sun hits that and comes.
Hey, does it save you some UV rays right there? Like, does it take, the skin cancer thing away? Or
I don't know. I haven't treated the windows just yet. Dog. We're not that sophisticated, Moan.
Okay.
How about a fun subject for the day to open up?
Talk to me.
How about wild cards? And I'm not talking about playoffs here. How about wild cards, like players who you might not expect? Like, let's say, for example, like, you're not going to think of Pat Freiermuth. You're not going to say, hey, if Pat Freiermuth has a good season, boy, that'd be a real wild card for them. No, you're just expecting it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
How about guys that maybe like a month from now we'll be talking about and saying, man, imagine if that guy hadn't gotten going. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, give me one. Give me one guy you'll like in this one.
Gunnar Olszewski, number one.
Gunnar.
By the way, the name, okay?
Oh.
Like, you better be a baller with a name like Gunnar, okay? You feel me? That's just like the Little League World Series a few years back. There was a kid whose first name was Cash and his last name was Money. You're making
that up.
I swear to you, they're out
That's
there,
hilarious.
man. Cash, Money. But him in general, man, what a surprise. Knowing that the kid can ball, also plays his special teams roles too. And you just never know week in and week out what you're going to get from a guy like that, which is the surprise aspect of it too. And not just that, DK, an athlete, a guy that moves around well, got good speed, man, got determination, have all of those, is a talent. Another one at the same position though, DK, Calvin Austin. And I think everybody's excited about this kid.
And they should be. The funny thing about mentioning Gunnar and Austin is that Gunnar has gotten onto the field in first team situations because of Austin's injury. And unfortunately, Pittsburgh fans have yet to see Austin because he's been out with the foot injury really for a while now. And that makes me wonder, incidentally, if he's even going to open the season on, one of those IR return to something brackets. But when he does play, wow. I mean, you want to talk about fast. There's fast, then there's like
moving.
How did a wide receiver once said to me, I was talking about somebody's speed. This was back when you had fast money, easy money, and all that other stuff, right? And
the Bugatti Bowl.
The exact answer to me was, he fast. He ain't Wallace fast.
Oh, yeah. Everybody knew what that meant.
That. He fast. He ain't Wallace fast, of course, referring to Mike Wallace. So I don't know if Calvin Austin and Mike Wallace in his prime would make for a great race, but Calvin Austin can really fly.
Yes, he can, man. And there's this whole thing, too. And everything I've heard about this kid is he's a gamer. He knows his size is a deficiency of his, and he tries everything he possibly can to get rid of it. You also, you look at this position, okay, like Rainey or a Dree Archer type. But from what my understanding is he's not them, and that's not what they're getting out of him. Like, this kid is actually a ball player. He's carried the ball. He's taken the hits. He's gotten in space and been dynamic. And I think that's where the mystique is around here. Is like, okay, well, let's get more of that. And again, I'll say this too. It's still camp. It's still preseason. There's still time for him to get healthy. So I'm not pushing him out of the door and saying we're going to wait for later. If that happens, so be it. But there's still time for this kid to get back and get ready for game planning type of things, man. Another guy, DK, that's on that list, and we talked about it just a smidge, Connor Hayward.
Connor Hayward's a wild card and a half because we don't even know at which position he'd be a threat.
And by which position you mean tight end or fullback is where you're going?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the fact that it's funny to hear these quarterbacks talk about him all through camp. He's the guy they want on the field in the 7 shots.
Yeah,
he's been a guy that's been a really reliable, and this goes back to his college days too.
Yeah.
In the 2-point conversion, he's that for whatever reason he's able to find that space in the end zone, and then he has really soft hands, kind of like his brother.
Yep. Yep, 100%. No. Let me stop agreeing with you. No, hell no. Okay, no. Cam has brick hands. All right. No, don't get me started.
I had you pulling up.
You had me for a second. Love Cam. Cam will claim he's a daggone good receiver and Titan. That went to Lil Bro. Okay, but watching him in the games, make the catches that he has, and just stretching out. That could be a pleasant surprise because you don't expect that. And with him, I feel like there is a component of him being able to lead block or just get enough to where, I hate to say this, but just his family's background said they're going to do the right thing at all times. And if you need him to do an assignment, like cut off the backside of a run, he's going to do that. That Kayvon Thibodeau play, like that's what the tight end's supposed to do, by the way, from the New York Giants, that first rounder. Cutting off the backside of the running lanes. Like that's a role he can play. If you don't want him being, Derek Watt, then you don't have to have him do those roles. You can move him into motion and kind of get him a steam run, get him a run so where he can clean people up. That's some of the stuff that he can do. And also with the pass catch, I'll be honest with you, DK, kind of shocking to me. That has been the surprise of camp. So whereas you say, I didn't know what I didn't know about, Lil Hayward. So I'm glad to know that. And yes, I call him Lil Hayward because my big brother was around me and I was Lil Foster. So there you go. Take that.
The viewers/listeners of this program will never let you forget the Little Foster reference. I feel like throwing in one more name, and that's Jaylen Warren, because even though we're starting to become cozy with him and we're starting to accept that he's just going to be part of this offense, his next snap in the National Football League in anger will be the first.
Yeah, man. What a surprise, man. Pittsburgh has done a really good job of finding guys like him. Like, honestly, let's be real with Connor. Finding Gunnar Olszewski, and also taking a bet on a guy like Calvin Austin. You really got to have a knack for finding it. And I know this for me being an undrafted guy. They take pride in these lower round free agent type of dudes because, you're not supposed to be in the league. You're not supposed to have this type of talent. And one thing Pittsburgh does is they give fair opportunities to guys to prove themselves. So if we're not talking about somebody, they've either descended in practice and other guys have made their way up, i.e. Gunnar Olszewski.
When we come back on the Ramon Foster Show, more football. Welcome back to the Ramon Foster Show. We don't always have to be super serious, going up and down depth charts and all that other stuff here. We can also have some fun. Second segment's always kind of felt that way, hasn't it?
It is, man. And I'm appreciative of it, and the fan base is too. And this is the segment where they get their nuggets because we just go off the rails a little bit at times. A little bit.
Here's something I've never asked you. And actually, I don't make a habit of asking any of the Steelers on any kind of regular basis. How much, when you were playing, did you pay attention to or, even become a fan of the Penguins or Pirates? Because I know you're so busy and you're so locked in on yourself. I think there's fans that think that you guys are just like, going to the games and cheering them on and we're all wearing the same colors and everything.
Man, you make it a point to go to games. The summer times for the Pirates games are always pretty cool because that stadium, if you hadn't been and you're an out-of-towner, or if you're from the Burgh, by the way, Pittsburghers do that a lot. They will only stay on their side of town, man. I've never seen it as much so as I have in Pittsburgh. If you're from the Strip District, if you're from the North Hills, you really don't go down. Like, it's really like that. Go to PNC Park. It is a beautiful sight. I always made it a point to go, sneak in and sneak out type of situations, man. I know when they had the infamous blackout game for the wild card playoff, like, there was a few guys in for that. But we do attend that type of stuff. We keep up with it. I'll say this though, because it goes like this: Steelers, Penguins, and then Pirates. Okay, it's kind of how it goes.
Oh, your hand dropped all the way off the screen for that one. I saw that.
We said,
Did you reach down to the floor or what?
Hey, what I'm telling you, bright spot. O'Neal Cruz is just where I'm at. Okay.
Okay.
It's him and the 5 heartbeats at this point. Okay. With that being said, if we were on a 500 level type of season where we win some, lose some, we heard the rumblings. Can't wait for hockey season to kick off. And I hated it, okay? Hated it. Not them, but there's an expectation of a level of consistency with these groups, man. Hockey must stay supreme. Football must stay supreme, and hell, we'll support the baseball team. It's kind of how it goes. So, with that being said, if we were on the struggle bus or hit a bad patch in the season, I heard the rumblings. We got it. Boy, I can't wait till hockey season start. What are the Pens doing? Like and it's not in a competitive, hateful nature. It's just like, all right, y'all, if we want to be at the top of the show, we better wake up because we can't fall back. This is our primary season. Hockey goes on forever. Like, and you're waiting for them to kick out or to drop the puck? Like, no.
It's funny that I've seen it because I cover all three teams. I've seen it in both directions. And I can tell you that right now, even though Andrew McCutcheon is playing in Milwaukee, he is your biggest fan. I mean, he lives and breathes for the Steelers. I ran into him up there in Milwaukee a couple of months ago. And first question when he sees me walk into the Brewers room was, how are my Steelers looking? How are my Steelers looking?
Yeah.
Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, especially the latter. Gino is like, this. Gino is off the charts for the Steelers. Sid, first thing when he sees me, come in. What's going on over over at the South Side? What's happening? How's things look like this? And I've heard the same thing in the other direction as well from the Steelers who follow the Penguins. Not least of which is your old head coach. And your old general manager, Kevin Colbert, very visible and vocal supporter of all those teams. So I've always, maybe it's because Pittsburgh is the only city where all three teams have the same first name and the same set of colors. And we are, by the way, for anybody for whom that's a newsflash, there's no other that does that.
No.
But it's always felt a little bit more like a brotherhood than in other cities.
It really is, man. And most guys are usually cordial with one another. McCutcheon, met my kids and was very friendly to them, man. It's never been an issue for, either one of us, all three teams to create relationships. There's never been any type of envy other than the competitive side of don't be number 3 or don't fall behind the 8 ball when it comes down to expectations. Like, it's always been that, man. And for guys that are out of towners like myself, brought into Pittsburgh from the South, like for me, like you're adopted by them. One of the first things the rookie class do is go to a Pirates game because the season's just, kicked off, or the hockey experience. I had never gone to a hockey game, never really watched it. And here I am with a friggin' hockey jersey in my closet, 2 of them, and just going to games. And not just that, but understanding and enjoying, what hockey is and what they do. And Pittsburgh really puts their sports on a pedestal, man, and not in a bad way. It's just that, look, we come together for this.
This year's Steelers rookie class was taken over to PNC Park. Kenny Pickett and the entire draft class was taken over there by Mike Tomlin. I also seem to recall a certain incident at PPG Paints Arena where all of the offensive linemen, here it comes, Moan. All of the offensive linemen went over there en masse, and a certain guard and a certain left tackle, not you, made quite the spectacle of themselves between David DeCastro and Alejandro Villanueva with the two-fisted, this. Two-fisted. Allie, they didn't even know the score of the game.
They did not, but it's such a great time, man. And y'all heard Charlie speak about that, like the brotherhood that brings itself. I think that was the year Dave got paid, and Dave paid for the box too. So
I'm sure he did.
So him and Al celebrating, and Dave got paid, Al got paid. That's basically what it was. Like Dave money is Al money. They enjoyed it together, man. So that was awesome.
When we come back, the only segment that matters.
Hey, Mon. We are recording.
Are we?
Yep.
Oh, it's on the wrong side again. I keep seeing that stupid playground logo.
It's not changing, DK. It's not changing.
It's not.
So you guys go live every day?
What's that?
We do live?
No, it's not live. No.
It's pre-recorded.
Yeah. Are we ready?
I'm ready when you are.
Okay. Welcome back to the only segment that matters. That would be the Hey Mon segment. And for that, we have Nancy visiting us here at the downtown HQ. And I'm going to turn the apparatus here over to her.
Hey, let's see. Hey.
Hi, Ramon. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Are you going to be the next candidate to take DK's job?
I'm going to try.
See?
But don't tell him, okay?
Confidence. He might rehear. There's a show he might read it. I'm with you all the way, just so you know.
Okay. All right. So I have to tell you, I love your Twitter feed. I follow it. It's very entertaining.
Good. Thank you.
And my question for you is, who do you think is going to win the quarterback job to start with?
Okay. I'm glad you say to start with, okay? Because this is an in-depth answer, okay? And well, I'll say this. The young kid, Chris Oladokun, getting released the other day was very telling, okay? It was very telling. Pittsburgh has a history of keeping 3 quarterbacks. Always have. It's not many times we've had 2. You're looking at your 3, which lets you know that this competition has been closer than they probably expected. Okay. I think the rookie Oladokun was a contingency plan that, look, if Mason was gone and Mason didn't hold up his end of the stick. Mm-hmm. And honestly, he has. When you ask me who the starter is, I still got to go with Mitch Trubisky. To begin the season, because I don't see a world, me personally, although Kenny has played well, we can admit that. Yeah. Although he's played well, I still think there are some avenues in which he is to learn. And I think that's where they're going with him. I'd rather be more cautious than to just throw him out there to the wolves, okay? And especially being at the first game, it's on the road in Cincinnati, and we got to deal with those friggin' people, okay? I don't know if he's ready for that aspect of what the NFL is, although again, I've been pleasantly surprised by the talent, his poise, his ability to create plays. It's all there when it comes down to Kenny Pickett. And again, you're looking at a level of him just being comfortable in a stadium. Heck, he's at Heinz Field, Acrisure Stadium.
No, it's Heinz Field.
See, you with me on this. It's
always be Heinz Field.
See, that's the motto right there. But he looks comfortable performing, and that's where I'm at with him. I could see a world, where I don't know, maybe 6 games in, he's kind of taking over a little bit, and that's because you do have to understand there's a lot that goes into the week-to-week preparation. There's a lot that goes into going on the road and playing games. There's a lot that goes on in which he can actually learn more and bring in a little bit more knowledge about the game. Most times with football players, it's a matter of if you give them an opportunity, they're just going to play ball. And I think that is Kenny Pickett. The day that Mitch Trubisky was signed, though, and I say this respectfully towards him, I said bridge. He's one to the next player. And it's a matter of him, honestly. We had that conversation with Charlie Batch yesterday, and he spoke about how he had to minimize himself to actually help out the franchise guy in Ben Roethlisberger. Right. I don't know if Mason or Mitch are going to be willing to do those things as much, or do you still say, look, when it comes down to Mason's position, with them saying, look, we usually keep 3. Y'all know our tendencies around the NFL. We don't have to let go of Mason Rudolph. So give us something more valuable if they do decide to trade him. Right. Opening the season, to get back to your original question, I got Mitch Trubisky. Okay. Later on in the season, depending on development or depending on the flow of the season, because that matters a little bit too, I can see where Kenny Pickett comes in and start. And I'll be the first one to say, I said sit him the entire year. I said wait. Yep. I'm also of the mindset now, look, I've seen more. He's done more. And I'm okay with him going in under the fire, because with guys like him, young guys, most franchise quarterbacks, if you sit more than 2 years, you're probably not going to be the franchise guy. Okay. I always look at Jordan Love's situation, and guys that say we have we got a developmental guy. No. If he's your guy, you select him in the first round, he's probably going to play either later that season or starts the next season as a starter. So that's where I'm at with Kenny Pickett. Okay,
so once Kenny gets in, how many games till he comes up to speed with the quickness of the NFL?
I say I give most guys about 4 games, a quarter of the season. Okay. Just simply because there's more tape on you. You've seen more tape and how to adjust in games also. It's usually about a 4-game span of saying, okay, this is different than I thought. And now I need to realize there is a step to be made. So that's where I'm at on that. And just the way and I know we're going to evaluate Kenny whenever he gets in. I'll always take Ben's approach to it. Ben was, criticized a little bit when he was asked about certain young quarterbacks in this league. And he was honestly right. He was like, give it 3 years. Okay. 3 years, we know what we have and who you are. First year, you surprise people. Second year, you kind of adjust. And then at third year, you really settle in. Okay. And that's where I'm at as far as the Kenny Pickett project goes, too. So this will hopefully be a good ride for this guy because he has that seems to be a little bit of the it factor where it doesn't look like it's going to work. But if with the right guidance and support, this kid could be nice.
Yeah, he's got some good receivers this year, too.
That's one aspect of that team that people are really minimizing. It's fourth in the AFC North. Yeah, carry that to Cincinnati or somewhere like that. We don't deal with that.
Thanks, Ramon.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure. Way better questions than DK.
Okay, I won't tell him.
Thank you. Enjoy your day.
So here's the deal, Foster. I need to know where I stand in your life because first it's Charlie Batch, now it's Nancy.
Look, it's only so much we can carry you, okay? Wow. No, I kid, man. Hey, that's one thing I've always said about anybody that's a Steeler fan, okay? This isn't just a man's sport where men talk it. She is a prime example that football and the Pittsburgh Steelers match hand in hand. It's a family. It's a culture. It doesn't matter all the way down to the kids, man. She proves it right there. I love that.
It's the truth. And that's one of the things that I can tell you at our company, we've always strived to reach out for fans, women and girls, of all sports. For a long time, Moan, in Pittsburgh, it was kind of like that was just hockey. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to see, more of that, gravitate toward football here. It's been pretty neat to see. Want to do another one of these tomorrow? Want to do that?
Absolutely. For Friday. Absolutely.